Hello everyone, my name is Alekhya. I am from Cyber Security Department and today our topic is on security and privacy implications from cloud computing. So first of all, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is nothing but remote of servers. So the network of remote of servers that is connected to the internet where we can store data or we can edit data, we can store data over there. So usually we will store the data in the local servers. But when coming to the cloud computing, we'll store the data in remote of servers which is connected to the internet. We are having like Dropbox. Dropbox is one of the cloud computing app. And today our topic is on security and privacy implications from cloud computing. And the contents are security and privacy implications from cloud computing and social media marketing, security risks and perils for organization. So first, security and privacy implications from cloud computing. So first, there are data privacy risks associated with cloud computing. So we are having some data privacy risks when within the cloud computing, and putting data in the cloud may impact privacy rights, obligations and status. So it may be some risks like we are having impact on the privacy risks, obligations and status. And next one, there is much legal uncertainty about privacy rights in the cloud. And here organizations should think about the privacy scenarios in terms of user spheres. So sphere. So sphere is nothing but, so it is one of the so user spheres. So next one, there are three kinds of spheres and their characteristics as the following. So first one, user sphere, next one, recipient sphere and next one, joint sphere. So first, user sphere. So what is user sphere? So first of all, sphere is nothing but some parallel content of data which is stored in one database. Parallel, it is one of the mechanism to store parallel data. Parallel data means some two set of data sets, some data sets that we store in same, and here in one system the process will be done at a time. Parallel storing of data mechanism, sphere means. So first one, user sphere. So what is here? Here the data is stored in user's desktop. The data is stored in user's desktop like PCs, laptops, mobile phones, radio frequency identification chips, anything that we can store data. And here the organization's responsibility is to provide access to the users and monitor that access to ensure misuse do not happen. So here the organization's responsibility, the duty is to provide access to the only users and monitor that access to ensure misuse do not happen. So they should every time they should monitor that misuse do not happen to the users data. And next one, we are having some challenges to consider in user spheres. So what are they? So first one, what data is transferred from client to the data recipient? So which type of data? So is it necessary data? Is it like encrypted data? Like that? Is it necessary? So how much data they are sending from client to data recipient? Everything to be considered. So this is one of the challenge. And is that user explicitly involved into the transfer? So is the user involving in the transfer or not? It is also one of the challenge for the user in user spheres. And next one, is the user aware of remote or local application storing data on this system, on his or her system? So here the user, is he know the aware of remote or local application storing the data on its system? And next one, is the data storage is recipient or persistent? Is it transient or persistent? Is it like temporarily they are sending, temporarily they are storing the data, or like permanently they are storing the data? They have to consider. It is also one of the challenge. And next one, recipient sphere. So where the data lies in? Here the data lies in with the servers and databases. Servers and databases. The data lies in the servers and databases of network providers. Who are providing the network? The network providers and the service providers are parties with whom the data shares data. Sorry, the recipient shares the data. So here the data lies in the servers and databases of network providers. The network providers who are providing the network and service providers or other parties with whom the data recipient shares the data, where the data lies in the servers and databases. And here the organization's responsibility. So what is the organization's responsibility here? To minimize the user's privacy risk by ensuring that unwanted exposures of personal data of users do not happen. So the main aim here, the main duty of organizations is not to expose the personal data of users. They should not expose the personal data of users where it may happen with damage on the user's privacy risks. It is one of the main responsibility in recipient sphere. And what are the challenges to consider in recipient sphere? So first one, what data is shared by the data recipient with other parties? So which type of data the data recipients are sharing with other parties? And can the user expect an anticipate transfer of his data by recipient? So is the user can expect or anticipate transfer of data by recipient? And next one, is the PIA adequately secured? Is the personal identification number is adequately secured? And next one, is the storage is transit or persistence? Is it permanently storing or temporarily storing? It is also to consider in challenges. And next one, can the processing personal data can be predicted by the user? So is it being predicted by the user or not? It is also to be considered. And are there are any secondary users of data that may not be foreseen by the user? So is there any secondary users of data? Is there any secondary users of data that may not be foreseen by the user? And is there any way to minimize processing? So without giving the complete personal data, is there any way for the processes to continue? So it is also to be considered in the challenges of recipient sphere. And next one, joint sphere. So when coming to joint sphere, here the data lies within the web service provider servers and databases. So where in recipient sphere, the data is stored in the servers and databases, where here the data lies in web service provider servers and their databases. The data lies within the web service provider servers and their databases. And this is in between the sphere where it is not clear to whom does the data belongs to. So it is not clear that whom the data belongs to. Either it is for the users or for the data recipients. So it is not clear in that point of view. And next one, cloud computing has this scenario. So what is the scenario? Organizations, this is the scenario for the cloud computers. And next one, organization's responsibility. So what is the organization's responsibility? They need to provide to users some control over the access to themselves. Themselves and minimize users' future privacy risks. So they mainly concentrate on the minimization of users' future privacy risks. The challenges to consider. So what are the challenges to consider? Here we are having one challenge. Is the user fully aware of how his or her data is used and can he or she can control this? So they should know is the user's data fully aware of how she or he data is used. So the data they have given on the website, web service providers, the data they have given to the web service providers is they can be used and further they will use for any purposes. So they should think in that point of view. It is also one of the challenge in joint sphere. So next one, we are having some privacy challenges in cloud computing. So what are the privacy challenges? So let us see. So first one, cloud computing is widely used and well discussed topic today. So in everywhere, either it is institutions, industries, or some big databases, we are using cloud computing. So cloud computing is well discussed topic today with the interest from all fields. So every field they are trying to use cloud computing. It may be in research, academics, IT industries, anything. And next one, it is seemingly started to the hot topic in international conferences. So even in the international conferences, this cloud computing is being the hot topic and other opportunities throughout the worldwide. So because of this, the development of opportunities has been increased because of cloud computing. And the spike in job opportunities is attributed to huge amount of data being processed and stored on the servers. And next one, the cloud paradigm revolves and convinces an easy to provision of the huge pool of shared computing resources. So it is a very big data. It is very big content that if anyone can learn. Cloud computing. So it is a paradigm. It revolves around the convenience and easy provision of huge pool. So the usage of cloud computing is very convenient to the users and easy for the provision of huge pool. Huge data can be shared throughout the computer resources. By using the computer resources, we can share huge amount of data by using cloud computing. And the rapid development of cloud has led to the flexibility, cost cutting and scalability of products. So by using this, the flexibility and cost cutting scalability of products, there has been increased a lot, but also faces an innumerous amount of privacy and security challenges. So here the users, because of the increase of users in the cloud computing, the the privacy and security challenges has also been increased because of cloud computing. And next one, since it is relatively new concept and evolving day by day, there are undiscovering security issues. So here the security threat has happening day by day by undiscovered security issues. So some security issues cannot be discovered until they happen. The creep up and need to be taken care of as soon as discovered. So what are the security measures they has to be taken care of? This also be considered in challenges in cloud computing. And we are having some important 7 privacy challenges in cloud computing. Let us discuss on that. So first one, data confidentiality issues, data loss issues, geographical data storage issues, multi-tenancy security issues, so transparency issues and hypervision related issues and managerial issues. So these are all the 7 challenges in cloud computing. So in cloud computing, they have to face these 7 challenges and they have to take the security measures and they have to develop on that. They have to update security challenges based on these issues. So let us discuss about these issues. So first one, confidentiality issues, data confidentiality issues. So first, confidentiality of users' data is an important issue to be considered when externalizing and outsourcing extremely delicate and sensitive data to the cloud service providers. So the data within the cloud computer server has to be very important to secure, and which data has to be given to the users. And the personal data should not be made unreachable to the users. So here the personal data should be unreachable to the users who do not have the proper access or authentication. And one way of making it sure that confidentiality is the uses of service access control. the usage of severe access control, policies and regulations. So every user, every server, they have to maintain some policies and regulations to the usage of severe access control. So based on the authentication and access of the user only, the personal data has to be given. And next one, data loss issues. If there is any data loss, if there is any data that has been lost, what will happen? So the data lost or the data theft is one of the major security challenges in cloud computing. And the outrages of cloud services are very frequently visible even from firms like Dropbox, Microsoft, Amazon, etc., which in turn results in the absence of trust in services during a critical time. So if there is any outrages of cloud services, like we are having some Dropbox, Microsoft, Amazon, so there will be a return, like there will be a turn in the results in absence of trust. So if they have lost in the trust, there may be some critical time. And also it is quite easy for an attacker to gain access to multiple storage units, even if a single one is compromised. Cloud computing, cloud providers face. So if there is any single thing that is compromised of cloud providers face, there will be a chance for the attackers to gain access to the multiple storage units. So they can easily gain the access for the data if there is any compromise of storing devices or accesses. And next one, geographical data storage issues. So geographical data storage issues, since the cloud infrastructure is disturbed across different geographical locations spread throughout the world, it is often possible that the user's data is stored in location that is out of legal jurisdiction, which leads to the user's concerns about the legal accessibility of local law enforcement and regulations on data that is stored out of the region. So the rules and regulations are jurisdiction is different from one region to another region. So based on that, they have to provide they have to provide the data storage, they have to provide the access, they have to provide the managerial things based on that legal requirements and the policies on that based on the specific regions. So here geographical data storage issues is nothing but the data storage based on the region. So in one region the legal policies and privacies may be different from another region. So based on that, they have to maintain the cloud infrastructure. And next one, multi-tenancy security issues. So multi-tenancy security is nothing but the concept of sharing computational resources. Data storage applications and services among different tenants. And next one, it is hosted by same logical or physical platform at a cloud service provider's premises. And next one, while they are following this approach, the provider can maximize profits but puts the customer at a risk. So when they are following the cloud service provider's premises, here when they're following this approach, the service provider, they can maximize these profits, but the customer is at risk. And here the attacker can take undue advantage. So here the attacker can take advantage of multi-residence opportunities and can launch various attacks against their co-tenants, which can result in several privacy challenges. They can various attacks against their co-tenants, which can result in several privacy challenges. And next one, transparency issues. So in this first one, in cloud computing security, transparency means willingness of cloud service provider to reveal different details and characteristics on its security preparedness. So it is nothing but willingness of a cloud service provider. Willingness of a cloud service provider to reveal different types of details and characteristics. And next one, some of these details compromise policies and regulations on security, privacy, and service level. So there may be compromise of policies like some policies and regulations on these aspects like security, privacy, and service level. So in addition to that, willingness and disposition when calculating transparency. Okay, so they have to concentrate on everything. They have to concentrate on policies and regulations, willingness of the customer, and they have to maintain the security, privacy, and service levels equally. And next one, it is also important to notice how reachable the security reading lines data and information are actually. So like how reachable the security read lines data and information are actually, they are also considered on that aspect also. And next one, hypervisor related issues. Hypervisor related issues is nothing but visualization. So visualization means logical abstraction of computing resources from physical restrictions and constraints. Logical abstraction of computing resources from physical restrictions and constraints. So but this poses new challenges factors like authorization, accounting, and authorization. So authentication, accounting, and authorization, these are also some new factors in hypervision related issues. And next one, hypervisor manages multiple virtual machines. So virtual machines where it becomes the target of adversaries. So it may be the target for the attackers. And next one, managerial issues. So managerial issues is like it is not on the technical point like cloud privacy challenges, but also non-technical and managerial ones. So it is nothing but it is non-technical issue where implementing a technical solution to a problem or a product, non-managing it properly, eventually bound to introduce vulnerabilities. So if you're introducing technological solutions to a problem, but we are not implementing it properly. So if you're not implementing it properly, it may be managerial issues or it will be exposed to the attackers' vulnerabilities. So we are having some examples like lack of control, security and privacy management for visualization, developing comprehensive services level agreements, and going through cloud service vendors and users negotiations. So these are all some examples in managerial issues. And these are the main privacy challenges in cloud computing. So in next topic next topic is social media marketing tools. Social media marketing and their security risks and perils for organization. So social media marketing. So we'll use social media is mainly for marketing purpose. So if you have any product or if you have any innovative thinking, so we'll keep it in social media, and social media is they are having so many sites where that idea or that product can go vast. So it can go worldwide. So what is social computing? Social computing and social media marketing, they cannot be separated. In social computing, there is social media marketing. So social media is rapidly going. It is very rapidly going nowadays. So what is the uses of social media sites by large business to business organizations? So large business to business organizations, what is the usage of social media sites? So we are having Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, MySpace. So these are all some sites where we can be used. So here Facebook is used by 37% of the organizations. On the worldwide, 37% of the organizations are using Facebook, and 36% of the organizations are using LinkedIn. and 36% Twitter, and 22% YouTube, and 6% MySpace. So these are all the sites that has been used by the organization, like other industries or organizations to market for the use of marketing, for the purpose of marketing. And these are some tools like online social media tools where they can vastly market their products or ideas. So we're having collaborative tools, wikis, social bookmarking or tagging, or video sharing, like we are having YouTube style video sharing, business network like LinkedIn, Zing, E-Academy, blogs, we are having photo sharing, we are having social networking like Facebook, MySpace, Orkut, Friendster. These are all some social media tools for exposing our ideas or exposing our products to go to vast number of audience. So first of all, we'll understand what is social media marketing. So understanding of social media marketing. So most typical reasons why social media marketing is used to promote their products and services. So what is the reason they are using social media marketing to promote their products or services? So first one, the main thing is to reach to the large target of audience. To reach to the large target of audience. And next one, to increase traffic to their website. To increase traffic to their website coming from social media websites. And next, to reap other potential revenue benefits and to minimize advertising costs. So if they have invested so much on advertisements, it is not profit, it is there will be less revenue profit for the organizations. Or they have used social media marketing tools, it will be more beneficial for the organizations. And to build credibility by participating in relevant product promotion forms. So if they have participated in any product promotion forms or responding to some potential customers' questions, it may be very beneficial for the organizations. And to collect potential customer profiles, so they can collect a vast number of data from the specific like websites by using social media. So by using that, they can give their advertisements easily. And what is the best practices with the use of social media marketing tools? What are the best practices? First one, establish a social media policy. First one, they can establish a social media policy. And by use of social personal blogging for work related matters should be monitored and minimized. And next one, use of policies and implementation of policy-based procedures are always essential. So it is very important to use the policies and implementation of policy-based procedures. And next one, increasing employee awareness is an ongoing activity. So every time they have to increase their skills, employee skills to awareness for the awareness on for the awareness. It is an ongoing activity. They have every time they have to update their skills. And next one, organizations need to educate their employees about the risks associated with the use of online social media tools. And next one, organizations must raise their employees to awareness of the fact even seemingly anonymous information and can reveal too much about the company's or person's private life. So here the organizations should raise their employees awareness. They should raise their employees awareness and what is the fact that is happening on outside and which data they have to collect and which data they should have not to given to other users. And it is worth exploring appointment of a social media expert within the company. So they have to interact more with the social media experts to expose their product or services. And they need to establish need-based access policy. They need to establish need-based access policy. And the policy should not be treated as a one-time activity. It should not be treated as a one-time activity. The policies has to be updated, but until then, they have to use those policies for their procedures. And next one, blocking the infected websites is another necessary activity. It is very important to block the infected websites. And next one, access blocking can also be applied to any other suspicious sites on the internet. And we should use firewall. Here the organization should use firewalls to help for the protect of the data on the organization. And here the organization's best practices are: first one, organization-wide information system security policy and configuration of control and management and risk assessment, standard software configurations that should satisfy the information system security policy. And next one, security awareness and training. And next one, contingency planning, continuity of operations and disaster recovery planning, and certification and accreditation. So these are all the very important best practices for the organizations. They should manage the data. They should have control and access to over the data, and risk assessment. If there is any risk happen, what is the next step they has to do? That should also be planned before itself, and there should be some certifications and accreditations for the organizations. These are some best practices, and here we are having some references. Cybersecurity book, and so these are some differences. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.